All right, shalom, shalom. Salakia had some technical difficulties. Uh, Hopefully we have overcome those. Just bear with me while I make sure everything is tawab. And also while I post to the chat and make sure that things are being seen. Remember to sign into the chat. All right. Sign into the chat. If you're in Connecticut and you're going through anything, or you need to ask any questions, you have you have any questions, you have concerns, you have need for counsel, all right, call 860. I'm sorry, call 203-548-0040. Okay, again, that's 203-548-0040. Laba, are you seeing in the chat what I post? Are you seeing it once, or are you seeing it more than once? On Facebook.
I'm seeing it once.
You're seeing it once, but when I post it, I see it twice. Okay. I see what's happening. I see what's happening. I see what's happening here. Again, just bear with me. There we go. All right. We're getting there now. On YouTube, do you see posts in the chat? Laba?
That's where I'm at.
Those you can see?
All
right, no sweat. All right, we just figured that out. All right, good. All right. This is part 3 of the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians must learn what a contrite spirit is to come back to God. Because we've been taken away from our power. And that is through not having remorse for what we do, for not feeling sorry for being unrighteous to one another, being unrighteous even to the heathen. We are supposed to be the ambassadors of the Most High. We're supposed to leave the vengeance to the Most High and treat everyone righteously. You understand? We can hate, but we cannot act on the hate. We cannot show the hate. We can speak the truth. That we can do. And that's what the ISUPK does under Commander General Yohana. We go out on the streets and we preach and teach the truth about our oppressor, the truth about our condition, the truth about how to get out of our condition. Let me tell you something. I had a very interesting, I can't even call it a conversation. I can't even call it a debate because the individual was not listening. But someone had questions. He was an Israelite. He had questions. And unfortunately, he didn't want his questions answered. All he wanted to do was continue to ask questions. One of the questions was about pork. And when he got the answer was always, the comeback was always why? Almost, and I know, and I mean no disrespect, but almost like a child. I'm just telling the truth. Almost like a child says why to everything. If you truly want to know the truth of something, and this is what I told him, I said, read the Bible, man. Read it for yourself. You know, it's up to you to obey or not to obey. And that's not obeying me. That's obeying the Most High. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to love each other and prefer one another, right? And how possibly can you love and do you even love yourself if you're so willing to not listen to the Most High and ask why? Like, who are you to question? That's like when a child asks you something, right? How can they possibly understand at a certain level, especially when they're very young? Because they're going to ask you why, but they don't have enough experience to know and to understand why something is or isn't. Understand? Salakia. So it's extremely important that we understand, and I want you to get contrite spirit for me, all right? We're gonna read the definition of contrite again, and we're gonna understand, hopefully, again, what it actually means to be holy, right? And how how you can't have your cake and eat it too. You're gonna either want to serve God or you're gonna want to serve yourself. Because no man can serve two masters. He will love the one and hate the other. That's paraphrase. He will love the one and hate the other. And I believe, no, I don't believe, I know that many of us suffer from a type of stubbornness that the Bible calls stiff-necked. We think we know everything. We don't want to admit God is real. We don't want to admit that we listen to God. We want somehow to have a form of holiness. Let's get that. Let's get that. Having a form of godliness. So, Lakia. Let me know when you have that.
Okay.
We're going to get 2 Timothy.
I have it on.
You have it?
Not okay.
The definition.
Not okay.
We're going to get 2 Timothy 3 and 5 after that. Go ahead. Read.
The definition of contrite.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling or expressing remorse.
What?
Feeling or expressing remorse.
Contrite means to feel or express remorse. Again, we went through this before. We went through this. We're contrite. We went through 2 Corinthians 6 and 13, Matthew 10 and 34, Hosea 4 and 6, Revelations 18 and 4, Jeremiah 51 and 45, 2 Corinthians 6, 17 through 18, Romans 12 and 10, Leviticus 19, we read 1 through 18, and now after we define contrite again, one more time.
Feeling or expressing remorse.
Read this way, please.
Feeling or expressing remorse.
Feeling or expressing remorse. When you sin, you have to feel or express remorse in order to repent, in order for you to stop doing what the Lord said not do. Or else you're going to keep doing it. You're not going to have anything compelling you to stop. And many of us suffer from that. Many of us do have a cold heart. Many of us make very light of obeying. Many of us don't even obey. We don't want to obey the law. Let me tell you something. A priest and a prophet of the Lord in the ISUPK obeys the laws of the land. Okay? We do what we're supposed to do. We have discipline. And this place, this captivity pushes and pushes and pushes and pushes and teaches and teaches and indoctrinates us into lack of discipline. So we become liars, cheaters, right? And I don't mean cheating on, when I say cheating, I mean lying and cheating and swindling one another, right? Because we're always trying to get over on somebody. We don't want to do things fairly, right? We don't want to give a fair payment for a fair job done. We complain about it. You know what I'm saying? Because we lack discipline. And having that contrite spirit, that Holy Spirit, the Spirit of the Lord, the man of war, right, is an extremely disciplined way of being, right? One that many of us have a hard time with, but if you can perfect that in yourself, you would change, man, and you would put away your old man like you're supposed to. Again, many of us can't put away the old man. Many of us get our Hebrew names and remnants of our old man keep popping up everywhere, man. While you're a young man in the UPK, you're supposed to be shedding yourself of the selfishness that you had when you were in the world, of the smart-mouthed part of you, the part of you that's unbrotherly, the part of you that always wants to snap, that should shut the frick up. You understand? That's the part of you that needs to be disciplined. The part that always got something to say. Like a woman for the men. And if you're a woman, like a bitch in the world. And we got to learn to be quiet. Not only physically, but mentally. And be disciplined in mind too. In order to be what? Contrite. In order to have remorse, you got to be calm in your thought. Not to say slow, but calm in it, man. You can't let things come in. That's the devil talking to you, man. Always whispering that what if this and what if that and this person is trying to get me and that. Man, probably not. Probably not. It might just be you. And if they are, man, listen. How are you going to fight against them when you can't even fight against yourself? Huh? How are you going to fight against the evils that might come into your life when everything confuses you and everything makes your heart race? You're not going to win if that's the case. This hypersensitive way of being, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to work. You got to be logical. You can't put every scenario in your head and think that they're all going to come true, man. You got to know that what is more than likely going to happen. And then you got to sit back and just say, okay, what actually happened? And many of us don't do that, man. Many of us are all over the place. Young man, yes, you can come in. Join the stream, my man. Come on. Trooper Tamat also join in, okay? Got brothers in Connecticut slaving and trying to be in class too, and Most High in Christ for that. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep pushing and keep growing as men, as in our schools and for the UPK and in the UPK. All right. I am priest and officer Gabar Mouth, Salakia. This is ISUPK Connecticut. We are ISUPK. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana since 1969. We've been teaching the so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Indians, their true culture and heritage as it pertains to the Bible, that we are the 12 tribes of Israel, and that our oppressor is a devil the Bible speaks of. So like you. Let me get that again. No, let's get 2 Timothy 3 and 5. Yapashaira.
This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3, verse 5. Having a form of godliness.
Wait. What's above that?
Traitors.
Oh, let's go up to the top. Let's read that from 1. Let's go 2 Timothy 3 and 1. Because, let's understand. All right, we got you in. Just remember to mute your mic if need be until you start to read, all right? Young man D is in the house.
Come.
All right.
All
right, we're going to have Yapasha Ira finish this verse, and then I'll have to take over. Go ahead.
Okay.
This now also, that in the last days,
Hold on. This now also that in the last days, we're in 2 Timothy 3 and 1. This now also that in the last days, these are the last days. All right. I like reading this scripture because many Christians don't take these things into consideration and somewhat avoid the truth of these verses because they don't deal with it, right? And I love to read it to a Christian and a Christianite, an individual light, as my brother Bakwash said, right, in his class, an individual light, because that's who you're serving yourself. All right. One more time from the beginning.
This now also.
No.
This now also.
This no. Don't guess. This no also. Go ahead.
That in the last days.
That in the last days, now, 2021 and beyond.
Perilous times shall
perilous.
Lock out of one. Mm-hmm. Perilous times shall come.
Perilous times shall come. Dangerous times. Go ahead.
For men shall be lovers of their own selves.
For men shall be lovers of their own selves. Covetous. Let's break this down a little bit. Men shall be lovers of their own selves. Who will they prefer? They'll prefer themselves. They'll prefer to eat pork because they want to, not because God said don't do it. They'll ask you why. They'll say, well, why can't I eat pork? Where does it say I can't eat pork? You show them and they say, well, why? I don't understand. What's the big deal? You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. But why? But why? But why? For men shall be lovers of their own selves. When who should you be loving? You should be loving the Most High, man. You should be loving the Most High and loving your brother. If you can't love God, how the heck are you going to love your brother? How you love your brother? The Bible says, how you love your brother? How can you say you love the Most High when you can't even love your brother? The Most High you've never seen, your brother you see all the time. Paraphrasing. Go ahead.
Okay.
Covetous.
Boasters.
Boasters. Boasters. Yo, I'm the best at this. I'm the best at that. Yo, I got this. Yo, I got that. You see my chain. You see my car. You see my rims. You see this. I got a relationship with the Most High, man. He's on my side. I do this. I do that. I. Go ahead.
Okay. Proud.
Proud. Go ahead.
Blasphemers.
Blasphemers, man. They speak crap about the Most High. They say they don't care whether God is going to punish them or not. They don't care whether they're sinning or not. Go ahead.
Disobedient to parents.
Disobedient to parents. You can't love God. How you gonna listen? If you have an understanding that the Most High is the creator of all things, you gonna have and you don't have respect for the Most High. Are you gonna have respect for the male and female that brought you into the world? Are you really gonna listen to them? When your mom and dad told you don't go out there taking drugs, how many of us actually listened? I didn't, because I can say that I smoked a cigarette. I can say that I've drank excessively at one time in my life. I can say so many things. And I can tell you what, my parents told me about it and told me I shouldn't do it. You know, school told me I shouldn't do it. TV shows said I shouldn't do it. So many things said, don't go out there and be a drug dealer. Don't go out there and be a whore. Don't go out there and be a whoremonger. You know what I'm saying? Don't go out there giving yourself to everybody, jumping from bed to bed. But how many of us actually did it? And in doing it, we were disobedient to our parents. Go ahead.
Unthankful.
We are unthankful. We don't thank the Lord for the life we got, because we have scares, right? We have these scares where our life, we get into accidents, we have health issues, you know what I'm saying? We put ourselves at risk when we have sex unprotected with many individuals and never see them again the next day, right? We put ourselves at risk when we do that, and we're unthankful for the life that the Lord gives us, man. The Lord protects us and keeps us out of harm's way, and we're unthankful. Go ahead.
Unholy.
And we are not separate. We want to be attached to every damn thing. Holy means to be separate from society, separate from the mainstream things, right? Separate from the heathen and in their ways. But we're unholy. We're connected to all those things, connected to our oppressor, connected to his thoughts, connected to his traditions, connected to his agenda for us. And if we were holy, then his agenda wouldn't so acutely affect us. His agenda depends on us being disobedient to our God, to our King, and undisciplined in ourselves. Because in order to be disobedient to the Most High, we have to become disobedient and undisciplined in our actions and in our thoughts, confused in a way where we start to take on that what is it called? Syndrome. What's it called, young man?
What is it? Stockholm syndrome?
Stockholm syndrome. The water. We take on that Stockholm syndrome, and we start to apathize with our oppressor. We start to love the oppressor. We start to say, "Hey, he's not so bad." Man, do you know that brother gave me a check? He's not so bad. I know he forgets his words every once in a while and he doesn't read the teleprompter. But, he's not as bad as the other one that got kicked out of office. He's not as bold. Let me tell you something, man. We made a choice. Our people, especially our women, are very deceived by what's going on right now. We are looking at an unprecedented situation. Never happened before. Or actually, it did happen, but never at this level, and never so many people acquiescing and not asking questions. And many of the people not asking questions and not being doubtful of anything are women, and leading our people down a very slippery slope because again, we're following our oppressors, and they follow they don't follow their women, but they teach us to, right? They don't follow their women, but they teach our women to lead us. And unfortunately, the church has caused our men to wane weak, and we're being led. I went to a store in the mall, in our mall here, right? And I'm not going to mention names, but a young man decided that it would be prudent to let me know that I should wear a mask in this store. And I should respect the store. Now, it's my understanding that you don't have to wear a mask, right? So I said, well, do you like wearing a mask? Oh, no, I don't like wearing a mask at all, but I only wear it when I'm here and this and that, this and that. I said, well, why are you wearing it then? Oh, because I got to respect the women. Huh? You got to respect the women? Do you respect yourself? Because you're stifling yourself from oxygen. You're wearing the same, listen, the young man's mask was so dirty from his hands and from wearing the same mask for weeks. How are you benefiting yourself from that? You got a dirty N95 on. Yo, it was interesting to say the least. But again, through the Most High, through Commander General Yohana, and through the captains and the officers and the young warriors coming in, what I'm saying, through all the discipline that we learn in here, and trust me, if I wasn't in the UPK, I would have raised up on them because it was disrespectful to me. It was uncalled for. It was brash. It was immature. You know what I'm saying? But through patience, I felt sorry for the brother. Now I just walked away. You know what I'm saying? No sweat. You know what I'm saying? And that's what our people have to have compassion for one another. You know what I'm saying? That day I had compassion. I said, you know what, brother? You're not acting very brotherly, but I'm going to show you how to be brotherly. I'm going to show you. And I didn't tell him. I showed him.
Mm-hmm.
By not getting at him, by not yelling at him, by not saying, man, you're ridiculous and this and that. I let him be, man. You want to be in that world, brother? I told him I rebuked him. I told him it was wrong and that he should think about things a little differently. But you know what? Who am I to force someone? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, man. It's up to him. You know what I'm saying? Every man got to show himself and has to be show himself approved. You know what I'm saying? Every man is gonna make his election sure by himself, whether he wants to or not. Because when you go in front of the Most High, you go alone. You know what I'm saying? With all your records there for the for your angel or the angel keeping record. All your records will be right there, man. All the good, the bad, and the ugly. Keep reading.
Truce breakers.
Truce breakers. We'd be liars, man. Go ahead.
false accusers,
will be false accusers. Go ahead.
incontinent,
Incontinent, meaning not steady in our ways, easily confounded, easily moved, easily, instead of sticking to something, we're always changing to something, moving to something new, changing to something different, and never really perfecting anything. More like a master, what was it? A jack of all trades, master of none. Keep going.
fierce,
Uh-huh.
despisers of those
Fierce, like all the women and all the homosexuals who call themselves fierce when he acts like a homosexual, when a man behaves in an effeminate way, being all loud and boisterous and obnoxious. That's what is defined as fierce in the modern day, right? Go ahead.
despisers of those that are good,
Despisers of those that follow the Bible, that fully follow it, like the Christians despise the men in the UPK, right? Like the Buddhists and everybody else who says that everybody's got to be all soft, tender, and loving in an effeminate way, when we're supposed to be loving of our people like warriors love their people. Go out there and fight for our people. You know what I'm saying? Show the world that our people are worth something, because the world teaches that we're worth nothing when we get shot. When our men are made to wear dresses in the entertainment industry. You understand? When our men go out there and want to be homosexual, allow their mothers to rule over them with an iron fist. You know what I'm saying? When our women go out there and behave, and then think about how ironic this is. The men are acting effeminate, but the females feel it necessary to behave masculine, even though they're saying that masculinity is toxic. If masculinity is toxic, then shut your damn mouth, because a man has to speak up for his people. A man has to fight for something. A woman should be soft, tender, understanding, not to say weak in that, but strong in that. Strong in the discipline that comes with femininity, so that the man can be strong in the discipline that comes with masculinity, right? And willing to stand in front of that thing coming running at you, wanting to tear your head off. Not running with you, screaming next to you with his hands up, nails long, painted all different colors, different color hair, while he sprints by you because he's faster. Because he's truly a man. You know what I'm saying? Because he's truly a man. Because he's going to dust you. And that whatever's chasing you is going to eat you. And he's going to cry. He's going to be in the corner, you know what I'm saying? Wondering what happened. I can't believe she didn't run faster. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe you didn't stand in front of her. And this is the society that is raising up day after day after day in the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian communities, a role reversal that is caused by the oppressor's lies, by the oppressor's lifestyle, right? Because the oppressor is innately homosexual, right? They like that, even though they still behave masculine in public, you know. And again, the sanctuary that the Lord made for the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian is in the ISUPK, man, under Commander General Yohana. In here, you learn to be disciplined, and you learn to look at the world as it is, and not in the veiling that has been pulled over your eyes. You understand? You learn to come out of her. Keep reading.
Okay. High-minded.
We are high-minded, man. We think we got every answer. Keep going.
lovers of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High.
We love pleasures more than we love the Most High. We love that sex. We love that alcohol. We love that blunt. We love that pipe. You know what I'm saying? We love the woman that scorns us, so that because we have this hope that she's gonna have sex with us again. And we allow the dysfunctionality of our families to the point where and our families become so dysfunctional that we end up walking away, right? Because we didn't handle things properly. But again, in the UPK, you'll get counseling how to keep your family together, man. And guess what? It's not to always acquiesce. Acquiesce means to give in. It's not always to give in. Sometimes it's to stand up and to say, nah, enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? Enough is enough. And this is how we keep our family together. Now, you can't make that woman stay, but you can sure enough point out what is right and what is wrong. And many of us don't do that, man. Many of us are afraid to lose our family, so we don't say anything. We don't say all that we should. We don't buck up against that woman and buck up against the societal brainwashing that she's showing and what she's saying to you. And we have to do that every single time. Buck up against it and fight against it. You know what I'm saying? The way we're supposed to. Not in in a disciplined manner. Not always to yell, not always to fight in an abrasive way. Sometimes it might be to walk away that day. But when to do it, the wisdom in when to do it, that's here. That's in that Bible. You understand? Keep reading.
Having a form of godliness.
Because that's what we have. We have a form of godliness, the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, through Christianity and through all the other fake religions and worshiping of idols and worshiping of graven images. We have a form of godliness. Go ahead.
But denying the power thereof.
But we deny the power which is Yahweh. We deny our power, which is what? Being obedient to our God. That is our power. That's when we have healthy bodies and healthy. When I say healthy body, I don't mean one. Listen, some of us are big. Some of us are big. Some of us are skinny. Some of us are medium. Some of us are short. Some of us are tall. You understand? We come in all shapes and sizes, man. But when I say healthy, when I say discipline, I mean we have put away things that are distractions to us, right? Let me tell you something. When I was in the world, right, I was actually smaller, right? I was not as robust as I am now, right? But I smoked cigarettes. I smoked 2 packs a day sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And guess what cigarettes do? It staves off weight, right? I thought I was healthy. My lungs probably look like the Black Lagoon, okay? Bubbly and full of holes and black. You understand? I smoked, I smoked. But now I don't. Now I don't. Now I don't do anything that is against the law. Now, cigarettes are not against the law, but it's against our law to pollute our temples, right? So I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. And again, before I came in here in the ISUPK, I had a form of godliness. I knew that my body was supposed to be a temple, but no temple should have a chimney. You understand? No temple should be burning nothing in it and smoking and blowing it out and causing yourself all types of problems. Many of the C-19 situations have to do it. I'm being careful what I say because of media. I'm seeing different people get taken down for what they say, and again, got to be disciplined in how we speak. Let's not be our own worst enemy where we can't spread the truth because we couldn't change one thing that we said. You understand? So, again, I had a form of godliness, but now I know that that form of godliness I had, it was unrighteousness and it was crap. It was made up in my own mind. I was delusional. You understand? I was delusional, and I was denying the power of God, the power that the Most High now has instilled in me, to where I know what to say, what not to say, and when to say it. And I have brothers that will correct me without hesitation. And I take the correction without feeling butthurt. I can just leave it alone. I don't have to get upset. You understand? That's something that's learned in the ISUPK. I watch other groups. I watch the individual lights. And yo, there's always some controversy going on with somebody somewhere. Even in the so-called comedic situation, right? Even with Sa and Polite and all them, they had this big thing going on. Polite's reinvented himself again, once again, and Reggie's on there, and they're all just talking about how can you believe in a God this, and how can you not believe in a God? How can you just go out there and have and what, believe in only yourself? How can you be connected to one another if there's no commonality to what you believe? Everybody's different. Everybody believes one thing and not so much of the other, like the other brother believes. And how can you move in one direction like that? How? You can't, man. You can't be on one accord. You can't be of one mind, one spirit, one body, one mind, one spirit. You know what I'm saying? You can't be a nation like that. You can't. You can't, because everybody's doing something different. And that is denying the power also. And what does it say? Read the last bit.
From such, turn away.
Turn your head this way and read it.
From such, turn away.
We got to get away from all that. We got to get away from the Polites of the world, from the Sonettas. Sonetta is nothing but a troublemaker, man. We got to get away from Sonettas of the world. We got to get away from solar minds. You know what I'm saying? We got to get away from all the confusion of everyone wanting to move you off your square of being a brother to one another, and a sister, a wife, a son or a daughter who has loyalty, discipline, and love for one another. You understand? Because these commandments in the Bible, are what is going to finally get our people out of the mess that we got ourselves into through disobedience to our God. You understand? That is the only thing that will save us. Because guess what is incorporated in the commandments? Love for your brother, love for your sister, right? Love for your God, serving only one God, not worshiping just anything, only worshiping your God. You know what I'm saying? How to get married, what is marriage, what to eat, what not to eat. These are the things that will keep us and make us different from the people that hate us, because they definitely hate us. They hate us. They want us dead. They want us on the bottom. They want to feed off you like parasites feed off a host. Because why? How do we know this? Because they're feeding off our land. This land belonged to the Israelites. You understand? The same way our land in the so-called Middle East is being parasited by those who have tried to take our place, who say they are us, and who get and who are reaping the benefit thereof, right? The so-called Jew reaps the benefit of calling himself us. And what do we reap? We reap the tares and the dirt. We reap the stalks. We reap the gleaning. You know what I'm saying? The corners of the field is all we get. The leftovers, the things that are left behind. We don't get the benefit of our culture, of our nation, basically, right? It's that simple. We don't get the benefits of calling ourselves our family name. Keep reading. Two more verses. Read the 7.
For all this sort are they which creep into houses.
For all this sort, all those that we just read, the traitors, the heady, the high-minded, the lover of pleasures more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying the power thereof, the false accusers, the incontinent, the fierce, the despisers of those that are good, the unthankful, the unholy, those that are disobedient to parents, the blasphemers, the boasters, the coveters, the lovers of self, right? For this sort are they which creep into houses. And what do?
And lead captive silly women.
And they lead captive silly women.
Laden with sins.
Laden with sins. That means covered in sin. We see these Kevin Samuels and Coach and all the other things, right? Pointing out and again, pointing out the destruction that's happening to the woman, which is causing the woman to destroy the man through wanting certain things that are unreasonable, right? Like a high, what's that called? What's that called? A man who is high value, right? They want a high value man. Where does that leave anybody who's not considered a 6-figure earner? It leaves you on the bottom. But what we don't understand, man, everything is of the Most High, right? A lot of the folly that we've fallen into is being exposed. Okay? A lot of it's being exposed. And a lot of that folly that's being exposed is going to lead brothers and sisters into waking up, because the solution is what? It's not monogamy. The solution is not necessarily polygamy, but the solution is love for your brother or your sister, and to vet those you lay with, right? And to know what true marriage is, right? To know that when you lay down with somebody, you don't just bounce off because you want to, because you changed your mind. That's not what happens, because that's why our households are separated and broken apart, right? Because everybody decides, oh, you know what? There's something better out there for me. Let me go get it. Instead of making what you have better. You got to make what you have better. You can't always seek the new thing. You understand? Sometimes you got to fix what's broken. Because guess what? You mean to tell me the next relationship is going to be perfect? You know that the next relationship you get into, it's like this. I have a car, right? I thought about giving my car up because it's kind of expensive to fix, right? But should I fix it, or should I go get another car with different kind of problems? And this is the plight that we are working with on a regular basis when it comes to relationships. We are always looking and saying it's greener, the greener grass might be on the other side. I might as well try. I only live once. Well, guess what? How about you don't only live once? And if you did, why would you want to waste time always seeking a new thing when how many times has it worked out for you if you're single again? Hmm? You want to get divorced from your husband or your wife because there's some young thing looking at you at work or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? When that young thing is only looking at you because she just came into who she is and you're there. She's looking at everything. It ain't just you. So get your head out the clouds, man. Same thing with the women and the men. This young man's looking at you. Listen, why do you put yourself in disbelief? Because you know that young man, again, who's not in the truth, he's not just looking at you, he's looking at everybody. And he gonna lie to you and tell you anything to get you. And once he get you, and you're not that great, you're not all that you're chopped up to be in his mind. You know what I'm saying? You're not all that. What's gonna happen? You're gonna be pining for his phone calls because he's gonna stop calling you. He's gonna leave you alone. But guess what? The truth that's in this Bible, right? If our people live, if the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians live by the truth, live in the truth, and use the Bible as our guideline, guess what we have? We'll have families again. We'll have families. How many of our men miss their children because we can't see them? Because mom somehow uses them as some kind of damn collateral. Uses them as a means to get at you. Poisons the kid against you. How many of our women do that? How disgusting is that? Where you would use your own child against the child's father so that you can get what you want. And most times it's monetary. And sometimes it's just emotional because you can't stand them. And when you ask why, you have a lot to say, but you would say that about anyone that you were once with, that finally got over you and moved on. You understand? Our people are not contrite. We don't have that sensitivity, that feeling of remorse and regret that is needed to change. We can have it. It's innate in us to have it, but again, we've learned not to exercise it. Let's get a young man. Salakia?
I didn't finish reading 7.
Go ahead, finish reading 7.
Ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth.
Oh, yes. Salakia. Ever learning. Our women, our men are ever learning, and especially our women. They always want to go back to school, huh? Oh, they got to get that doctorate. They got to get that associate's, that doctorate. They got to get that bachelor's. They got to get some kind of degree, right? And end up in heaps of debt and living alone, having their kids, a dog, and tons of debt. And that dude who treats them like a piece of meat. You understand? Our women are good for that, man. Tawada. All right, young man, let's get Tawada for that last reading. Let's get Isaiah 63 and 10. Salakia. Isaiah 57 and 15. Let's get that contrite spirit in the Bible, because this is the verse. Isaiah
57 and 15.
Right.
For thus saith the high and lofty one that inhabiteth eternity, whose name is holy.
Mm-hmm.
I dwell in the high and holy place, with him also that is of a contrite and humble spirit.
Now, our King has a contrite and humble spirit. Our King gave his life for us. Our King wasn't even a sinner. Read that from the beginning again.
For thus said the high and lofty one that inhabiteth
That's the
eternity.
Most High, the high and lofty one that inhabiteth. Go ahead. Sorry, Salaki.
That inhabiteth eternity.
That inhabiteth eternity. That's only one individual. That is the Most High. Go ahead.
Whose name is holy.
Whose name is holy. Yahweh. His name is holy, man. Go ahead. His name is separate. His name is not connected to everyone and everything. It's connected to us, the Israelite, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Go ahead.
I dwell in the high and holy place. With him also that is of a contrite and humble spirit.
With the Most High is Christ. And what does Christ have? A contrite and humble spirit. This is what the Most High says of Christ. Go ahead.
To revive the spirit of the humble.
And through that spirit that Christ has and us following after Christ, pick up your cross and follow after me. If they hate you, know they hated me first, and so on and so forth. In the book of Matthew, in the book of Luke, right? Go ahead.
And to revive the heart of the contrite ones.
And to revive the heart of the contrite ones, because again, it's innate. It's innate. It is in us to have that humble, loving spirit towards one another. That contrite spirit in ourselves for what we do right and what we do wrong. That conscience. All of us have it, man. And it needs to be revived because it is slowly dying in us as we listen to our oppressors, as we live their lifestyle, as we are in captivity day after day. We are becoming cold towards one another, man. And we got to stop that. Keep going. And this is why we got to do it now and not wait. Read 16.
For I will not contend forever.
Ooh. Read that again.
For I will not contend forever.
The Most High is not going to keep fighting you. Not forever. One day he going to kick your ass like you need it and stop trying to correct you. One more time and then keep going.
For I will not contend forever. Neither will I be always wrong.
I'm not always going to contend with you, and I'm not always going to get mad with you. Keep going.
For the spirit should fail before me, and the souls which I have made.
That's right. We keep reading.
For the iniquity of his covetousness was I wroth, and smote him.
And
I hid him and smote him.
Smote means to kill, to hit or kill. That's what's going to happen to you if you can't get yourself together. If you don't want to stop eating pork, you don't want to stop running your mouth, okay? You don't want to, you're a woman and you keep putting yourself over the man, right? I suffer now to what you want to keep teaching Bible study and having men in the class instead of teaching the kids. If you don't want to listen to the finite and infinite things of the Bible, right? You want to keep living in iniquity, you're going to get smote. Keep going.
And smote him. I hid me and was wroth. And he went and frowardly in the way of his heart.
Oh, Salaki, he went on.
He went on,
Yeah.
Salaki. He went on frowardly in the way of his heart.
Yeah, and you go on living the life you want to live, and good luck to you. That life is death. Keep going.
I have seen his ways and will heal him.
Yep.
I will lead him also and restore comforts unto him and to his mourners.
Keep going.
I create the fruit of the lips, peace, peace to him that is far off and to him that is near, saith the Lord, and I will heal him.
But he must repent. He must follow after Christ. Again, the Lord is not going to be fighting against you all the time, man. He ain't gonna keep doing it. When judgment comes, judgment comes. But for those who want to, the Lord will heal you. The Lord will lead you. The Lord will guide you into where you need to be. Go ahead.
But the wicked are but the wicked.
But the wicked, those who don't want to change, those who kind of keep asking, but why can't I eat pork? Why? Yeah, but why? But the wicked, go ahead.
But the wicked are like the troubled sea. When it cannot rest, whose waters cast up mire and dirt.
Ooh, that's heavy. But the wicked are like the troubled sea, stormy seas. They're getting always getting hit to and fro. Always got some problem. Always got some issue. Always calling you like, hey man, and they spend 10 minutes talking and never ask how you're doing because you got to listen to their all day issues. You know what I'm saying? Always got a problem. Never just cool and settle down. You know what I'm saying? Never like that, right? But the wicked are like the troubled sea when it cannot rest, whose waters cast up mire and dirt, always churning, always moving, never settled and calm. Keep going.
There is no peace, saith my God, to the wicked.
There's no peace to the wicked. And who says that? Not me, not Gabar Moth, not Young Man D. You know who says that? The Most High. The Most High. That's heavy, man.
It's heavy, bro.
We're gonna have a part 4. I like that verse. I like that. I like that. We're going Salakia. Let me mark down. We read down 21. Let's get the expectations of the Most High. Let's get one. Let's get Exodus 19 and 5. Let's get the book of Exodus, chapter 19 and verse 5.
Exodus 19 and 5. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine.
Damn right. Keep going.
And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
I'm going to leave it there. We're going to start there next week because we're going to go into that priestly way of being that is also a sign of our contrite heart towards one another, towards ourselves, towards God, towards one another, towards Christ, and how we're supposed to be so separate that we're unlike the other nations where we actually, every man is a priest. All right? Yeah, so with that, I am priest and officer Gabar Amath, ISUPK Connecticut. Glad to have young man D by way of Illinois. All right. Reading for us. Brother's been strong in here. All right. ISUPK started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohanna since 1969. We've been teaching the so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Indians, the First Nationers, Latinos, and Negro, their true heritage, true culture, according to the Bible, most importantly, true history, true archaeology, that we are the 12 tribes of Israel, and that our oppressor is the devil, which means deceiver, the Bible speaks of. All right. And remember what's going on. They exalt themselves as the eagle. They want to touch the stars, right? Now they're having all these, they want to do tours into the upper atmosphere. And the Lord said, I will bring thee low. Most High in Christ is happening, brother. I love it. All right. Until next class, shalom.
Shalom.